Here back for another update. Let's take a look at Ethereum over here. Now, analyzing Ethereum is so important because we can see the overall trend of the altcoin market. When you have a healthy Ethereum, when you have healthy price action with Ethereum, you usually have healthy price action with the rest of the altcoins. Now, taking a look here at this small range with Ethereum, it looks like we're just having accumulation at the lows. This is what I think is going to happen. Now, this is a schematic that it is a Wyckoff schematic, but there's a way to spot these schematics at the lows, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Before we take a look at that, we're going to take a look at this whole structure here, right from the local top that we had here on December 6th. So on December 6th, what we had was a 3-wave move down for your A wave, 3-wave move up for your B wave, and then what it looks like what we had for our C wave is a 5-wave move to the downside. So you had your wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then your C wave was done. Now, what I'm thinking happens over here is you have your Wyckoff accumulation schematic at the lows. Okay, so a little mini accumulation event at the lows that shakes out a lot of retail before ETH comes back up to these range highs and then makes a new all-time high. When we take a look here at the 4-hour time frame, we can see here that this is just a right angle broadening wedge pattern, or a bullish ascending triangle, I believe. This is what it looks like right over here. Usually what you have is a kind of like a double top motion, a partial decline, and then continuation of the trend. And so far we have that, right? We've come to this horizontal resistance about 5 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 times. And what we're having over here is just a partial decline or a pause in the overall trend before we have continuation up. So zooming in a bit over here on the hourly time frame, what you tend to notice at the bottoms in the crypto market is you have these types of structures. I can actually draw it out for you just so it's a little bit easier to understand. What you have is a very volatile and fast move to the downside, very sudden, and it takes a lot of people off guard. You can usually spot these moves when the move happens in a very short period of time. What I mean by that is you have a creek down, it's very slow, right? It grinds its way down, makes people unsure, and then it's sudden. And when you spot that sudden move, that's how you know that that's your selling climax. So when that's your selling climax, what you tend to see is an automatic rally. You'll always see this automatic rally after this selling climax or a huge liquidation event takes place in the market. Then you're going to have a secondary test, and then you're going to rally up one more time for your fail break, taking out this high. You may take out this high by a wick, or you may go just a little bit over. Okay, so you have your selling climax, your automatic rally, your second test, your fail break, and then what you have is a slow grind down for your secondary test in phase B below your second test. So you have your slow grind down. A lot of people are still unsure of their investment. They think that every local low that gets set here is a bottom and then it's going to skyrocket, but really it's just a grind down, liquidity just being sucked out of the asset, and then you have a sudden move down below your secondary test. Okay, so this is your secondary test in phase B, and for your secondary test in phase B, you may just chop around, you may just come down to mid-range and slightly sweep your secondary test, or move below your selling climax by a hair, like by an inch. And then this over here is your spring, your initial advance, your test, and then your continuation, your last point of support, and then continuation higher. Okay, so this is exactly what I see here with Ethereum, right? This over here was your selling climax. You had your automatic rally, secondary test. This was your fail breakout. We didn't manage to get above this high, but it's still, what we have here is an exhausted move to the upside, right? Fail break, and then you're creaking down here very slowly, right? And then it's going to be sudden. You're going to come likely to around 32.30 to around 31.93. So around this region over here, around the 702.786 region. And if we lose this region, then we would come down slightly below your selling climax for your secondary test in phase B before your spring comes in, your last point of support, and then continuation up to then go ahead and take out these highs over here sitting at 4,000. Okay, so this is what I expect with Ethereum, and it looks like we're very close to a bottom coming in. We're just grinding our way to the downside over here. We're actually on the 38.2% of the 38.2% fib. We can take a look here at a clean chart, just so you guys aren't confused. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we take a fib from the pivot point before we have the rally, which would be November 4th, up to this high here on December 6th, you can see here that we've hit the 50% actually on the linear scale. Okay. And there's a possibility we slightly sweep your selling climax, right? Like I showed in the previous chart, towards the 618, and then we pop off from there. Okay, and then this over here would be your horizontal range. Or sorry, your ascending triangle. You see how many times we've come to tap this level? Or at least have come close to it. So right here, twice over here. And this would just be considered what's called a partial decline. So in trading, whenever you have, or in the world of technical analysis, whenever you have a pattern like this, a compression pattern, you tend to see a tap of the resistance. And this is where a lot of retail get excited. You wait for the partial decline about 38.2% of the way down to the 61.8% fib. Once you get this partial decline, this is where you would enter for the anticipation of that final push to the upside. Because after your partial decline, the next advance to the upside, it's very likely that it will be a successful break above the horizontal range. Okay, so this is what I would be expecting for ETH. Not much room to the downside. It looks like we're soon going to be bottoming out with the altcoin market. Let's go ahead and go back to this chart here that I have. So this is what I'd be expecting, and I'm going to show you some bearish invalidation as well. If we simply get back above these range highs, if we get a daily candle closure above 35.52, that would be a bullish sign, and then we could say that our accumulation structure is finished and our ABC is in. Our ABC is already in. I just think that we just have some more grinding out to do before we have that nice pop to the upside. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.